As per the teachings of Advait Vedant, nothing can happen and nothing can exist in the dream world without you witnessing it. The objects in your dream get their existence because you witness them. The very act of you seeing it brings things into existence in your dream. The Brahman and the universe have a similar relationship. Everything is born in Brahman, exists in Brahman, and resolves in Brahman. But Brahman is not an active participant in the process, it is only the witness to the universe. That is why Brahman is referred as the Sakshi, the witness consciousness in Advait Vedanta. Compare this to what quantum physics says. A particle does not have any real existence until it is observed. The physical systems do not exist until you measure them. They come into existence because you observe them. Now, can you see the obvious parallels here? But did you spot a flaw in my logic? As per Vedant, there is one consciousness, one Sakshi Chaitanya, which brings things into existence by the mere act of witnessing them. But this is not the same as any observer bringing things into existence. How can my observations have so much power that they bring things into existence? If, as Vedant claims, Brahman is the one dreaming up the universe, how am I able to bring things into existence? Only the person who is dreaming can bring things into existence in his dream, isn't it? This is where Advait Vedant and Tantra present contradictory views, but in this video we are only focusing on the similarities in the teachings of Vedant and the quantum science. Let's do a small thought experiment to understand this. Let's say you're having a vivid dream. It is your consciousness that has created every object in your dream. But what about all the people in your dream? They don't just exist, they are all conscious. Where do they get their consciousness from? Let's say there are 10 people in your dream. Each person in your dream is having a different experience. Where do they get their sentience from? How is it possible for them to experience the dream world? Aren't they seeing anything that you are not seeing? If a person in your dream is watching the sunrise, it is your consciousness which has created the sunrise and is seeing it through that person's eyes. He is experiencing the sunrise because you are experiencing it. I'll say it again. He is experiencing the sunrise because you are experiencing it. The experience of every person in your dream is your experience. Take a minute to absorb this. Now ask yourself, how is this happening? Have you divided your consciousness into 10 different parts and distributed it to the 10 different people in your dream? No. You are one undivided consciousness experiencing your dream world through every person in your dream. Now let us shift our point of view to the people in your dream. Each person experiences the world as if it is outside of him. They experience themselves as distinct individuals, separate from everyone else. One person cannot see what the other person is seeing. They are under the impression that they are living in this world and they have limited power over it. This is just an illusion caused by the deluding power of your dream. The goal of Vedanta is to make you understand this identity between you and Brahman. Here are the 4 most famous quotes of Vedanta. Praganyanam Brahman. Consciousness is Brahman. I am Atma Brahman. This self is Brahman. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that Brahman. And Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman, that witness consciousness that brings everything into existence by merely witnessing it. I am that Brahman, that singular consciousness which pervades everything. I am the only thing there is. All divisions are all illusion. My consciousness is Brahman. I am the all-pervading Sakshi Chaitanya. I am that Brahman which is pure consciousness. I am eternal, divisionless, unlimited by space or time. But somehow this powerful Maya does the impossible. It eludes me into thinking there is a world, that there is a God, and there is me, each separate from the other. But the reality is that there is only your consciousness shining through all the people in your dream, while you are dreaming even if you don't know this. You, the dreamer, is every person in your dream, and every person in your dream is you. You have not divided yourself to become these multiple people in your dream. You remain undivided. observing your dream, and this power of observation is reflected in every person in your dream. This is the final teaching of Vedanta, the culmination of all its knowledge. There is only one consciousness principle, and it is you. The whole world is happening in you. You are Brahman. You create, you sustain, and you destroy it. You are the Sakshi, the witness of the entire world. The world exists because you see it. So, can you see how this neatly explains the paradox of quantum physics? But beyond all these philosophies, the question is, how can we imbibe these teachings practically in our lives? Well, to answer this, Albert Einstein said, "A human being is a part of the whole, called by us the universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and limiting our affection for a few people nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Nobody is able to achieve this completely, but the striving for such achievement is in itself a part of liberation." So this is it for today's video, and we'll meet again in the next one.